So, some shit. What else? Smoke the marijuana and get high. Stay above the wicked and fly. No, not yet. I will be doing it, but yeah, I've just been lazy, so no, sorry. But I suppose if you have any extra questions, now's the time to ask. update. Yeah, no, I haven't done a Q&A video. That's that. But I'll be doing a video. I've got a few time lapses actually, which I'm going to put in a video. I might just make an edited video of just me talking and some clips. No, I have not. I'll have to check it out after this. I kind of lost interest in Batman after the Joker, Heath Ledger, died. I don't know, that kind of is the only thing that made me watch it. Otherwise, I'd never seen it before then. But yeah, I can always give it a look. I'm thinking to go for a little walk. Make a video. But yeah, I don't really know. I think walking would do me good. Yeah, I've seen like clips and pictures of it and like little short things to compare it to, but yeah, otherwise I thought it was a really good performance. There's a series, like a mini series made up by college students who do a psychiatric ward on the Joker, and it's like one-on-one interview confessions with the Joker. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's quite good. Like, it's very, very good. Like, it's not like professional or real anything. It's just like a parody, but it's good. Like, it's good. It's not shit. And fuck all is going on. Yeah. I'll put it in. Okay, basically, I've got a playlist called Entertainment, and it's just basically videos that I like watching online. And I'll make it public. It's private, but I'll public it. It's nothing bad. It's just videos I just found on the internet that I find entertaining, just shit to watch. But I'll put it in there. So just go on the playlist. There's tunes. There's a public playlist, but there's also videos. Just not my videos, just videos that are on YouTube. But I'll put it in there, the whole thing, and you can watch it if you want to. Man like Nathan Murray. Safe for tuning in, man, but nothing's really going on. I was debating on whether I should go for a walk or not, and yeah, I don't really know. It's raining, which is why I kind of more want to go for a walk, but then I don't know, I've just been a bit lazy recently, and yeah, I've not really been pushing my mind to do anything, because, well, what's the point? Blah, 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 woe is me, let's get out the violin and have a pity party, but, but yeah, literally. Like, if you think about it, yeah, I'm fine, like, literally, I'm actually fine, like, nothing's, obviously there's something wrong, but there's nothing actually wrong, like, do you know what I mean? It's just my internet, mate. If that happens, then that's why. Don't panic. It's because I was sitting outside. It doesn't like the internet connection outside. Oh, it's really poor. But I'll just sit a bit closer. Maybe that'll work. But yeah, either way, mate. Right, do you know what I mean? This is what it is. One bar. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I didn't really experience much of it. Like, literally, I was going out as normal. I I was squatting for it as well, which is a bit funny. Ended up taking over a Starbucks and living in there for like 2 weeks, and then moved somewhere else. That was nice. So it was a brand new building. And was in there for about a week before it was overrun by fucking junkies and spice heads and fucking. Ugh, mate, it's dreadful. There was a basement, like literally a hatch basement that goes underneath in the floor with another whole space underneath the whole building. And like it was just everyone just used the second, third, and fourth floor. They didn't really worry about the ground floor. And obviously, when we went out, people would get high and this, and then just forget basically. And just come back, everyone's just stoned, blazed, drunk. And yeah. But yeah, anyway, people started living in the bottom, and then they just started, yeah, police came and fucking smashed all the windows in, and fucking, yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare, really. But yeah, yeah, I'm blessed, I'm alright. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. I think it's time for another spliff. Mm. This is it, mate. This is it. I'm merely just out of the cage. Yeah, yeah. When I was in the Netherlands, you get some good Cali weed, proper stuff imported, and from dispensaries and things like that. And also, a lot of people would bring it over, a lot of the Americans. When I was working in the Flying Pig, New Dyke, Amsterdam Central, it's a party hostel, and a lot of the kids would be bringing over stuff. Dabs as well. That's pretty intense. Like very smooth though, very smooth. Like it's insane. Like the amount of ways you can smoke pure weed and get a really nice hit. But Cali weed, yeah, it's good weed. It's pure. It's fresh. It's crisp. The high is different. It's very clean. Like it's not the case of oh I've got good weed. It's more the fact of it's like medical weed. Like it is genuine medical weed. It actually does the job rather than just weed that you smoke that I find just monks you out or gets you high. Yeah, it's good weed, but it's not actually quality weed. Whereas when you go to the Netherlands and you can actually compare all the different strains, sativas, indicas, what they mix with, the hybrids, the potency, the strength, like you can actually see statistically which is good weed and which is bad weed, like and what's better for you, like depending on how you're feeling and what you want to smoke for. Like there's different weed for everything. But then in the coffee shops, I was pricing it up as like 60 euros, 60 to 70 euros minimum for like 1.5, 2 grams, if you're lucky. 70 euros. Like, literally, imagine getting a draw for like £65. That's stupid. Like, it's stupid. Literally, like, so you'd have to just rely on like the tourists, I guess, to come and, you know, sort of share their stuff, what they've got. Overpriced to get in the UK. It's not that it's overpriced because it's, do you know what I mean? It's expensive because it's good, but then at the same time, you can chat with people that are from California and they can tell you like that you can get it dirt cheap, $8, $9, if that. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's not the fact it's overpriced. It's just where it's from. Is the question is it worth paying the price? And I'd say, yeah, I'd say yes, but then you've got to guarantee that it's genuine Cali weed and not just some dealer just saying, "Oh, I got Cali," just to make himself look good. Like, but yeah, pricing in England is yeah, it's overpriced anyway. Just weed in general, I'd say it's overpriced. Like Moonrock, yeah, smoking Moonrock. Moonrock's alright. Moonrock's strong though. It's again, it's a different high. It's like imagine just being stoned, but just being so high, but just like feeling like clouds, like cotton wool, basically, just so like fluffy and just so stoned, mate. Just like weightless, like. How much do I smoke? Well, I don't know. It depends. Depends on. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. Like, but on average, I'd say I don't know, like a Q maybe. Q. Yeah, maybe probably more because I buy in small amounts now because I'm broke. But yeah, probably like a Q a week, maybe more. Not too much, but I could get through it. If I've got it, then I'll get through it. So I say Q a week. But if I actually had a Q, then I'd smoke that in like 3 days. So no, yeah, it's uh. It's good though. I enjoy smoking. I do enjoy smoking. It's just different wherever you go. Oh, shit, where's my light gone? It's just different wherever you go, like different places. I like that. It's like good. It's interesting to see the different sides of weed and how people use and the perspectives and you know. Sorry, I fucking turned you. Fucking there we go. But yeah, I like seeing like the different ways of weed and shit. Because before that, I had no idea there's so many different. Well, obviously, but like I don't know. Hey, yes, G. What are you saying, man like Jake? You need to get a nickname. Or maybe you don't mind Jake. But let's see. For 70, yeah, but how much do you get? Oh, 3.5. See, 3.5. 3.5. You're mad. See, this is what I'm saying to you. That just proved my point of what I was just saying. You're mad. See, yeah, okay, fine. Well, literally, that just answers the question. Because sometimes I think I exaggerate, but I don't. Like, it's expensive. Like, it's just, but it's just such a ridiculous price. So it's just like, no, that can't be right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it just depends if you wanna use that much money on Cali weed, or you can just buy normal just weed that you know is gonna get you high. Like, yeah, it's not Cali, but like, I don't know. If you want to smoke like that, then you have to be either importing it, or literally just import it, or going to California or the Netherlands, where you can just smoke and you don't have to worry about the pricing because it's so readily available, so you're not going to get ripped off. Like, there's no reason for them to. But it's because of all the costs and blah blah blah. That's why they make it so expensive. They're not going to make it cheap if it actually is Cali weed. It's just a natural tax, isn't it, like with anything. No, yeah, that's peak. But Yeah, Dam's good. Dam's good style. Like, it's a good style because you can literally just go around and just try each and every strain and actually just learn and just try it for yourself. And then that means also when you come back here, you can tell the difference and you can know like different strains. But obviously, it is quite overwhelming if it's your first time in a coffee shop and you just walk in and the weed is just on the shelf and you're just like, raw, like, okay. And obviously, you got to take your time, but you just see people buying this. Like, you buy three, four strains at a time. You end up buying more, I'd say, when I was over there because there's so much choice. You just say, I'll have a dot five of this, I'll have a gram of that, I'll have a 3 5 of that, I'll have this, like hash, anything. But my favourite was the Afghan hash. My weed run would consist of lemon sour diesel, super silver haze, and Afghan hash. Literally, and that would be it. Like that would be it. And maybe a bit of pollen, and then like moon rocks and all of them things and dabs and that. That's for the tourists, mate. That's not something that I fucking would do. I just like, yeah. If I try it, if I get to try it, I try it. But I wouldn't. I don't need to smoke that much, mate. I don't need to be that high. Like literally, I know the strains that I got work for me. So yeah, Northern Lights is good. Northern Lights is nice. Got your pineapple Kush, strawberry and banana Kush is also good. Very very strong though. Very strong. I've got the orange, the tangerine. That's it. Tangerine Dream. That's fucking nice. Tangerine Dream, White Shark, mm, Shoreline. Mate, Tangerine Dream mixed in with a bit of Shoreline. Trust me, that will blow your head off, mate. That will blow your head off, especially if you get past the joint and you're not expecting it to be those two combinations, like, or Gorilla Glue. Oh, jeez. Literally, four strain blunts are the worst, mate, especially if you don't know they're coming. Wow, like, literally, you'll be hitting on that, like literally chatting, hitting, chatting, hitting, chatting, hitting, and then suddenly you'll just stop. Like, literally, you'll just stop, and you just be like, "I'm high as fuck." Like, I am high. Like, just boom, just you're just high out of nowhere, and there's no like lethargic or sick feeling. Like if you're mixing with Baki, like sometimes you can get a bit like sick in your stomach, but there's none of that. It's just high, like just high. Wow. That's nuts. No, literally, that's nuts. But the best place to sit and smoke, there's been a few places like socially, like the coffee shops is always a good place. Like it's very touristy and blah blah blah. But if you find the right one, like some good smoking sessions have come from just meeting people at the coffee shop and then just going to the park. Especially in Amsterdam, it's very scenic. It's nice, chat, smoke, drinks, things like that. So for that, I'd say yeah. But then in terms of like best place scenery, mm, either Safari Walk or a mountain in Naivasha in Kenya, in the north of Kenya. I literally just being on the mountain with like all the like the fog and the mist, like just floating over, like all the greenery and then all the animals in the distance. And yeah, just smoking and sitting on the rocks. Like yeah, that was pretty sick. Like for scenery, I'd say that's the best place. Or on a safari walk, just walking around, just Banana Zoo. And there's videos on the channel of that if you want to watch them, by the way. But yeah, that's quite jokes. Because I was looking out for the soldiers as well. Because if they caught you smoking weed, then you're done for. In the mountains, it's fine, but that was like a park, so there's people walking about. Yeah, I need to get down to Devon. I haven't really explored it that much, to be fair. I've been there a few times, but mainly for work. So I don't really get a chance to really explore. But yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, it's all cool. I'm just chilling, smoking a zoo. I'm just chatting with tales gone by. But yeah, no. That's a question, bro. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, fine. Basically, well, yes and no. It was fun to pick up good weed. But I didn't pick up good weed until my second trip in Kenya because my first trip was in the city. It was in Nairobi, and I was attached to a charity doing charity work in the slum called Kibera. But it was a case of when I was on this compound, like I was chatting to the security, I made friends with them, blah 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 blah. And then one of them says, "Oh, do you smoke?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah," because I had no smoke. I just had my tobacco. Golden Virginia, by the way, important part of the story. Golden Virginia, which had come from Portugal, and it was super cheap. It was like my last packet, well, second to last packet, but that's not the point because I was supposed to be there. Well, I was there for a period of time, but I wasn't planning on leaving. So yeah, I was supposed to keep those two pouches to last me for a good at least 5 months, like at least 5 months, which was it wasn't gonna happen, but like it was that was the aim. Anyway, so I had no weed, no nothing. So the guards were like, "Oh, we can pick up weed for you," blah blah blah. I was like, "Really? Is it good weed? Like, I can't be bothered to get fucking scammed and this and this and this." And he's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." And then it's like, okay, right, just give me the money. So I was like, oh, mate. Like, literally, because it's obvious, like, this is Kenya, bear in mind. Like, it can happen either way, but it's more likely to happen over there because it's just like, well, I'm foreign, I've got money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I gave him the money. He, like, goes off, comes back with the weed. He's like, oh, this is it. And then he comes back with, like, these sticks, basically like this. Yeah, he comes back with, like, four of these, five of these for 50 shillings, which is, like, I don't know, 48p. So he comes back with this, and I like unravel it, like check it, like, and it's like twiggy and seedy. It's bushweed basically. So you have to smoke like a good couple blunts of it to get actually high. But obviously I was mixing with a little bit of tobacco as well. So I was smoking it, and it was okay. It was average. It wasn't nothing special. And again, there's a video of me smoking it on the balcony when I've picked it up, and I give a little review, actually in the moment when I'm there rather than now, because yeah, it was all right. But like I say, I have done a review of it. So I picked it up and I was like, okay, I kept going back and kept going back, kept going back. And then I was just like, oh mate, this is dead weed. Like, this is such dead weed. Like, I just was just getting annoyed. Like, literally, I was just getting annoyed because bearing in mind, I had visited the Netherlands by this point. I'd only been there for 3 days, but I had experienced it, and that was my first time. And obviously, went to Portugal, then went to Spain, then went to Kenya. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll go back one more time and I'll see if like we can try and switch it up because he's saying, "No, I get the best. I can get the best." Blah blah, but it's not the best. So one day he goes to me, "Oh, this guy is a policeman." Like literally, this is who I've been buying with. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's a policeman. He does really good weed because can get all of the good weed and da da da." At this point, alarm bells should have been ringing, red flags should have been. But I was like, "No, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool." Because it's Kenya, man. They're all corrupt anyway. Like, there's no doesn't like it's not weird to get weed off the policeman. So I was like, "Okay, fine." And obviously, he was going to get it. Like, I don't actually have to go to him. Like, I would be there, but like that would be it. So anyway, one day I'm walking out, like, no, sorry, this is all part of the story. One day I'm walking out of the compound, and I'm walking around the compound, da da da, da out the gate, around the complex, this, because I was in a fancy area called Karen, right? There was a military base next to us, like with British soldiers on it, like a compound for them, like a quarters, and then there's like politicians and this and this and this. So I'm walking around this place, yeah, and I get lost, right? And then it's dark, like literally it's pitch black, it's dark, and I'm hearing all these strange noises from the bushes and blah 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 blah. I'm like, fuck, like literally, what am I gonna do? So anyway, I have to go all the way to. I don't have no credit, no nothing. I have to go all the way to fucking. Well, I walk towards the light basically, which I know to be a hospital. But I walk towards the hospital, just a light in the distance, like along this long dark road, like bush either side of me, like literally it's dead silent. But there's just loads of animals and shit just creaking in the bushes. You've got wild dogs fucking running up and down. Again, it's in the video, mate. Fucking hell. Anyway. I finally reached this hospital and there's two soldiers standing at the entrance, yeah, in like a little lighthouse cabin. And I was like, fuck, 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 what do I do? What do I do? Because I was like, I don't want to go over there and they'll be like, why are you out late at night? Blah, 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 blah. Because you're not really supposed to walk out late at night. Like, you can, but like, yeah, you don't really do it. So, like, I didn't want them to be like, oh, why are you out late at night? And then they'll ask for my passport and ID and I didn't have it on me. And it's just like, you're also supposed to walk with your passport, like, literally. And it's like, oh my God, like, fuck. So I just was like, fuck it, what am I gonna do? Stay outside with the wolves and just fucking, do you know what I mean? Be eaten alive by mosquitoes. Like, no thanks. I gotta just ask them for help. So anyway, I walked up to the tower and I was like, look, can you help me? Like literally, and he just like propped his gun, propped his gun on this hut, and like literally the other one was sitting there in a deck chair with his like legs spread open, just like looking at me like with his gun between his legs, and I was just like, oh God. Anyway, my arsehole was doing 50p, 5p, 50p, 5p. Anyway, fucking hell. So I say, look, can you call this number for me? This is the compound I'm staying at, you know. And like, you'd speak to the guy, tell the guards where I am, and they can come and pick me up because I don't know where I am. They was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I was like, what are you doing now? It's like, I went for a walk and I got lost. And then they just started laughing. They thought it was hilarious. So they was like, sort of broke the ice. Anyway, we was chatting. I was like, oh, what are you doing? I told them it's just doing charity work. We've been working out in Kibera. I was like, oh, you've been in Kibera. Anyway, long story short, I was waiting in this guard hut for about 15, 20 minutes, which felt like a lifetime. Bearing in mind, I didn't know if they was going to set me up. Like, literally, it's just these two guards outside a hospital. And again, hospitals are not really a safe place to be when you're in Kenya. So again, I was outside this hospital in the middle of nowhere, in the dark. I either chance it in the dark with all the fucking wildlife, with goodness knows what, and the mosquitoes, or I'd chance it with these two soldiers that could be setting me up for anything. But I was like, no, fuck it. I trust them that they're going to just fucking help me and sort me out. So anyway, they was like very stern and strict. They didn't really say much. Like after I told them what I was doing and I had a little brief conversation, they knew I wasn't really a threat, I guess, and that was that really. So they And then yeah, they just went back to being on guard, me and soldiers. So I was just sitting in the cabin in the deck chair, just like looking around, like literally just like what the fuck, like, literally. And there's guns like in the cabin there, like it's just left me in there, like didn't even worry that I might pick it up and start shooting everybody. But again, like you'd have to have balls to do that because they're just when they find you, mate, that'll be it. Like just you just wouldn't do it out of fear. Like attacks on law enforcement is very slim. If you're gonna do it, you got to go hard and actually aim to kill because there's no just anyway. They come, they pick me up. So sorry, this is all part of the story, but it's a bit long-winded. But this is all what led up to it. So after that, I was like, oh fuck, like literally. So anyway, they come, literally, the guy picks me up. He's joking and laughing, saying, "Ah, you got lost." Da 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 da. Anyway, the next morning, I was like to me, "Oh, it's really dangerous. You shouldn't have done that. Anything could have happened to you. You know, you could have been kidnapped. You know, people could fucking do harm to you and take you hostage and fucking animals as well. And just, it's not good. It's not safe. Blah 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 blah." So I was like, okay, fine. Um, yeah, whatever. That's that. Like, I was pissed off, but I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. Like, it's your country. You obviously know like what's going on. Like, and obviously you got, you know, not put yourself at risk. Anyway, after that, and like I spent like loads of days on the compound, and then I was just like had enough of being on the compound, and I was seeing this girl, so I was like, I'm gonna go see her and just chill out and have a smoke. Do you know what I mean? Just have some fun. Anyway, I leave the compound, and the guard's like, "Oh, where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just going out. You know, I'm just going to see someone." I was just like, "Oh, I'm just going out. I'm just going to see someone." And I was like, oh, "Okay, who are you going to see?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to see a friend." Okay, so bearing in mind, this girl worked at the compound I was staying at, but because of like there was like a Christian place, like there was no like relationships allowed with staff and blah blah, and it's like really taboo for girls to be like sleeping around and this. Anyway. So basically, I walked out of the compound and I literally, just as I got maybe like fucking a couple like 100 yards down the road, like literally just towards the edge of my compound on the compound wall. Bearing in mind, prior to this, I'd just been out for lunch with the owner of this compound, the one of the managers that runs this charity. I'd just been out for lunch with him. And we went to the draft center as well. That was nuts as well. We went to the draft center. But anyway, that's another story. I was walking down the path, yeah, and these soldiers in their truck, yeah, they just come rolling down the street, yeah, strapped to the fucking teeth, mate. AKs, pistols, the works, literally. So these soldiers come rolling around, and obviously I don't do nothing. It's not uncommon to see soldiers because, like I said, it's a rich area. You've got a military base next to me for fucking British soldiers. You've got fucking politicians' houses. You've got all these different rich people's houses. Like it's not uncommon to see high security at night and during the day in these sort of areas. So I just carried on walking. So I walked past and then they drove past and then they stopped. And so I carried on walking. Bearing in mind, I'm going to see this girl who I'm not supposed to be seeing, so I'm already nervous. So I was like, okay, fine, shit. So I keep walking, I keep walking, I keep walking, I keep walking, I keep walking. And then they're like, hey, you stop. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, literally, fuck. And I was like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going to the petrol station. Bearing in mind, I was going to go to the petrol station to get cigarettes, right? Not cigarettes, sorry, Rizzlers. I was going to go to get Rizzlers, but I had to go see this girl first, and then I was going to walk down. So I just said petrol station because my mind was just like, just if I can get rid of them so you could quickly sneak off with this girl and not get seen, literally, by anyone that works at the compound. But anyway, so these soldiers were like, "Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, mate, like I'm just, do you know what I mean? I'm going petrol station." The petrol station's that way. I was like, "Yeah, I know," but they was like, "Right, come back here, come back here." So I started walking towards them, and then the motherfucker, the policeman that was selling me the weed, was in the van with these fucking soldiers. He was in their truck, and I was like, "What the fuck, you motherfucker!" Like literally, he was rolling with soldiers, mate. He was a policeman, but he was rolling with soldiers, like the army, as in soldiers, army. Anyway, so fucking. Oh mate, like literally, I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. So, on my right jean pocket, I had my GoPro, which was sticking out of my tripod, and then in my left jean pocket, I had my tobacco, which was sticking out, which had tobacco in it, and it had these sticks of weed that obviously that I'd been given as weed that he was smoking. Now, basically, they was like, oh, where's your passport? Where's your passport? Now, this is like a famous, wait, hold on, Ikwenyomba. 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 I don't know. I think I've fucking out, which basically means I've left it in the house. Like, if a police officer asks, "Where's your passport?" the famous line was "Ikum Kwenyomba." Yeah, right. And I completely forgot it. Like, I completely forgot it. I was like, I don't have it. Like, literally, I don't have it. Wrong answer. Literally. So it's like, hey, right, okay. So they started fucking like, all fucking hop off this truck, literally hop off this truck, AKs swinging on their shoulders. And I'm like, oh Jesus, here we go. Start fucking grabbing me up, fucking tapping my pockets. Like, where's your passport? Was it? So I don't have it. They yanked my GoPro out of my pocket. I was like, fucking give that back. Like, literally just took it back off him. I was like, that's my camera. Like, I wasn't rude to him because obviously they'll fuck you up. But I was just like, that's my camera. Like, it's just a camera. Like, I'm putting it back in my pocket, but you can't have that. I was not allowing him to rob my camera. Like, no fucking way. Which is a piss take because I ended up coming back to England after going through all of that and then leaving it on a train, mate. Piss take. Anyway, fucking. So, fucking, I put my camera back in my pocket, but obviously I got the tobacco in the left hand pocket, right? Which he snatches out. And he's like, what's this? I was like, it's tobacco, it's tobacco. And he's like, what's tobacco? Tobacco? I was like, cigarette, cigarette. Because basically, like, they know what tobacco is, but they don't have rolling tobacco. They just have cigarettes. And the only brand of cigarettes they have is Dunhill. Don't ask me why, but smoking is banned and it's super taboo and, like, really, like, forbidden almost and looked down on, especially for women to smoke, specifically in Kenya. Like, so, like, ugh, like, literally, they're, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so the fact that I had rolling tobacco was a novelty and pretty much a myth to them. So they was like properly inspecting it and oh, what's this? What's this? What's that? Oh, it's tobacco. It's tobacco. But then obviously underneath all the tobacco was these fucking little sticks of weed, mate. So it's like, oh, this is bang. This is bang. Bang is what they call weed in Swahili. So that's like, this is bang. This is bang. And I was like, and obviously the police officer standing right there, the one who sold it to me, saying absolutely nothing, but literally, and then he starts asking me questions as if he hasn't seen me before, like literally, and it's like, you motherfucker. Anyway, so I'm like, I just get my phone out. Like, I'm making a phone call. Like, this is like, who are you calling? Who are you calling? No, I was like, literally, like, I live literally just there. I'm going to see my friends. She's waiting for me up there. Literally, like, he's like, where is she? Where is she? Now, I'd given her strict instructions to stay up the road. Also, she knew she shouldn't be seeing me and she didn't want to lose her job. So she wasn't going to come down. So she was waiting there for me this whole time, unbeknownst to her, that I'd been stopped by these soldiers. And if she would have known that, then she could have come and helped me. But then obviously I didn't want to get her involved because then she could just get arrested because she's a local and yeah, it would just go south really quickly. So I called this guy that I'd just been out to lunch with him. He's a manager and obviously he'd done his education, like he studied university in America, but then he's from Kenya and lives there. So like he's got like both sides of the coin, like that Western side and the African side. So anyway, I called him up and I was like, look, bro, I'm at the side of the street with soldiers right now. They're trying to push me into this truck. Like, I don't know what's going on. Please come out and explain to them who I am and that I don't know, just get rid of them for me, please. Even though they had caught me with weed, so they had caught me dead to rights. But it was like fucking sticks of weed and like trying to argue it out with them, being like, it's shit weed anyway. It's not even weed. How can you bust me for this shit? It's like, it's just near on impossible. So it's like, okay, fine. I've been caught with weed. They think it's weed. It is weed. That's it. Like, it's as simple as that over there. There's no like middle ground. Anyway, so he comes out. He has a chat with them in Swahili. Like I chat with them. I explain to them who I am, blah blah blah, what I'm doing, this. And then after that, yeah, they let me go. Now I had the cheek to say to them afterwards, "Oh, please, can you give me my tobacco back?" But I wanted the tobacco back because it was just tobacco. But for them, it was a seizure because smoking is forbidden anyway, and they don't have that kind of tobacco in the country. So they just was like, "Well, it's ours now," and they probably just smoked it up themselves. Good classic Golden Virginia from Portugal as well, which is just like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a case of like, yeah. But anyway, moving on to that. After that situation happened, it went back to I went and saw this girl, blah, blah, blah. It caught out that I was seeing her because obviously the manager just seen me with the girl as he had to come out. And then when I said I had to confess to say I was meeting her, and he was like, well, let's go and see her, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's no need to hide. Yes, there's every reason to hide. There's every reason to hide. Don't play fucking coy with me. Anyway, oh, that really pissed me off, mate. Sorry, it's a bit raw thinking about it. But literally, I haven't really told this story. But anyway, fucking after that, yeah, they went back to it got back to the fucking yes, mate. Safe for tuning in. Just telling a little story about picking up weed in Kenya and if it's hard or not. Smoke it up. I've got one here, but I'm chatting, so I haven't sparked it yet. So anyway, it got back to the compound basically. And yeah, it got back to the compound. I'd been caught by soldiers with weed, and like everyone was like in uproar and like, oh, it's so bad. Da 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 da. You're such an innocent boy. This. And it's like not innocent. I'm just polite, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just polite. Just, you know what I mean, I know my place and I know when to shut the fuck up. Literally, especially in fucking circles where, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so that happened, and then literally the day after there was like, we've booked you a flight, you've got to leave, like they're gonna deport you if you don't leave, and this. So I had to go, like, literally I had to go, and I was gutted because like, yeah, I wanted to stay. Obviously I was doing project work, I was already been there for like 2.5 weeks already, so I was just kind of settling in. It kind of took me so long to fucking get used to everything and the heat, the culture, like the ways, the vibes, the languages, like the fucking mess, like the smells, like everything, the mosquitoes, fucking the animals, like just to wrap my head around seeing so many different sceneries and so many contrasts just in one fucking breath, like, and then having to go just like that, it was like fuck. So I ended up leaving, and I ended up leaving that girl, which was just, yes, that was pretty sad. Like, yeah, I was upset about that, but I ended up seeing her again, but coming back later on. So, like I say, we're in Nairobi at the moment. I leave, I go back to the Netherlands to renew my visa, and then I fly back. So, I fly back to Kenya, and then I start off my trip in Nairobi in Jamahuri, which is just behind Kibera, which is the slum I was working in. So I managed to reconnect with Pastor Michael, who was the guy that took me around the slum in the first place, and allowed to just continue doing what I was doing and chatting to people and meeting new people and being able to be in the slums basically, like literally. And people would be like, "Oh, why would you go to the slum?" Like, people are trying to leave the slum; they don't want to move to the slum. But I just, yeah, I loved it. Like, it's, yeah, okay, fine, it's a slum. It's not fucking paradise. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just, it's more the community and the vibes and just, yeah. And sometimes it does your head in. Like, yeah, I can understand why people, but bearing in mind, like it was very, I like to immerse myself in their local culture, which again is a key point. This whole story is very key actually in life anyway, because I like to immerse myself when I travel in local culture and local ways of life. But when I went to Africa the first 2 times or even 3 times, I didn't really get to do that. I was doing project work, or I was doing work which involved um being on bases and compounds and things like that. So, yeah, I couldn't really get to see local life because I was just there working, and you just get a car booked from one place to another, and then you then stay on a compound with armed guards, so you never experience any form of hardship, like literally. And sometimes you may be in a car which has a diplomatic plate, which means it can't be stopped by the police. So again, you never experience any sort of hardship being stopped and having to experience corrupt policemen. But then obviously this fourth trip to Kenya, or the fourth trip to Africa, second trip to Kenya, would be the trip where I could actually immerse myself in local life, literally have to get on public transport by myself, have to get motorbikes by myself. Do you know what I mean? Walk around and get to know towns, locals, do you know what I mean? Make friends, which was good. Like, literally, that was good. So again, I stayed locally in Jamahuri. I stayed at a guest house, made friends with the guy Festus. He was there, and I said, "Can you get me weeds?" And he would go to Kabira and get me the weed. So again, I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's calm. I literally, that's calm. Yes, mate." So I was just thinking, okay, that's fine. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I'll give him like 500 shillings, and he would come back with maybe 12 sticks of weed. 500 shillings is about £4.80, if that. So yeah, so I'd give him 500 shillings, and yeah, he'd come back with all these sticks of weed. And I'd try the weed, and it was actually way better quality than what that copper was giving me. Like, she's like, fucking, anyway. So yeah, anyway, so I was getting way better weeds. I was like, yeah, this is great. And then I was just thinking, I don't know, it's still not as much as I thought it would be. It's not as much as I thought it would be. So I was just like, okay, fine. And then one day, someone came to the guest house, like this couple, yeah, and there was a young couple, there was university students, and they stayed at the guest house, and they was just on holiday in Nairobi, and they were from Kenya, and they said, when you go, because I said I wanted to go to Mombasa, so they said, when you go to Mombasa and when you get weed, you should ask for shashamani. Actually, don't say, can I have weed? When you pick up weed, say, can I have shashamani? and then you'll get actual weed of what you're expecting, like you get in Europe. And I said, really? And he said, yes. And that was the game changer for me. That was the game changer because I was just asking for the wrong thing the whole time. So I was like, okay, okay. So again, I made contact with that girl. I was invited over to the guest house, blah 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 blah. And then the guys, I was crisping on Festus, and I was like, "No, this is this girl, blah blah blah, da da da." What, introduced her, and then there was like, "This girl is no good for you. Like literally, this girl's no good for you. Like she's not doing what she should be doing. Like literally, she's not. Do you know what I mean? Washing her clothes. She's not cleaning. She's not cooking. Like she doesn't do anything. She lets you spend all your money on fast food and junk and public transport and getting motorbikes everywhere. She doesn't show you like how to like go to the market and save locally and this. And I was like, yeah, but like it's not really, it doesn't matter, like it's fine. It's like, no, it's not fine. There was proper laying into me, and that went on for like a week solid. They was just like, oh, she's shit, she's shit, she's shit. And I thought they was just hating. Literally, I just thought they was hating. And then one day this girl comes around and they introduced me to her, and she was like, they was like, oh, hey, blah 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 blah. And yeah, it was calm. Like literally, it was calm. Like literally, and then like we was friends. Like we was friends for a while, and then she was staying with me for a bit. And then I was still chatting with this other girl, but then she kind of got pushed out the picture a little bit, just because. Yeah, well, she was just. I kind of understand what they meant because before anything took place, before like any like hugs, sex, kisses, anything like that, anything sexual took place, she was tidying my room. She was making me food. Like she was like just because there's just a different way that they're taught of like how women should be. It's more old fashioned of like men go out to work and like women do cleaning and cooking and like there's just they got very strong like core family values, I guess. And like I don't know, it's just a social eco structure of just how things are and how each person should be treated, and like if there's a woman in the house or women in the house and they should be cooking for the men, like yeah, and then that's just how it is. Like it's a bit sexist if you're thinking about it from a modern day point of view, being from England, but at the same time it works. Like yeah, obviously it can be tamed to the extreme, but but for me it works because I didn't abuse it because I wasn't used to it. But obviously the men over there know they can treat women like shit and get away with it, so therefore that's where it becomes a problem. So obviously I'm aware of that, but from just what I'm saying on this particular occasion, she was doing all these things, and I realized what they meant by, oh, this is what they should be doing. Like so I was like, raw, like, literally. So anyway, obviously I kept her around, like literally I kept her around. And the other girl, I was like, well, bye. So anyway, I was chatting to her anyway as friends. So I was chatting to her, I was chatting to her as friends, and then fucking yeah, it just developed a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. And then anyway, we moved to Mombasa. So when we moved to Mombasa, this connection with the is it easy to pick up weed? This is again the weed situation. So when we went to Mombasa, like she had friends there and cousins there, and she'd lived there for a long time. So I was like, let's go there. You can show me around. Like, do you know what I mean? We get a place, and that's what we did. Had a place, had a little swimming pool. Like it was calm. Like literally, it was calm. And then basically, I was chatting to this girl, and then she found out, and she stole her number from my phone and was secretly texting her without me knowing, and there was just like a secret war going on. And obviously, this girl was texting me saying, "Oh, someone keeps messaging me saying, oh, I'm stealing their man, blah blah blah," but I don't get what I mean, what it means, and this, and I still, my stupid ass, still didn't figure out like, "Oh, you've been busted, mate. You've been busted." Anyway, fucking, oh wow wow wow, big mistake. That was a fucking big mistake. So. I go to Mombasa. I ask for Shashamani. Well, first time I go to her cousins. I say to her, "Can your cousins sort me out weed?" She's like, "Yeah, they can even give it to you for free. Like you'd have to just pay. You obviously smoke up with them when you go out. You can just take them out or whatever, buy them a drink or get some food and whatever. They'll be happy." I was like, "Okay, calm," because her cousins lived in the ghetto. So we went to the ghetto. Yeah, I fucking waited ages for this weed down all these fucking dark, like little fucking shanty houses, like corrugated metal, like paths and fucking mate. It's fucking mate. It's so rough, so rough. Like just fucking kids that are ready to fucking pull a gun on you, mate. Like literally little 12-year-old boys that will come up to you and rob you, like as if it's nothing. Like they're the man of their house. They're looking after their entire family, their brothers, their sisters, like everyone. Like yeah, some of those kids, mate, don't fuck with them, mate. They'll come up to you asking, "Oh, money, money, money," because they see you're foreign. But trust me, just Just keep your wits about you. Anyway, this is where I was. So I was just sitting there waiting, like yeah. But obviously I was with her and obviously the cousin, so it was fairly safe, like fairly safe. And I trusted her enough to not set me up. And yeah, it was fine. He come out with the weed, and I was just like, okay, let's go, right? So it was like a massive bundle parcel. I was like, what? All of this? Like literally all of this? And like I gave him like 100 shillings, which was for the fare, which was for him to come back and forth with me. So I just paid for his fare for him to come and get it. Otherwise, he'd done it for free. When I opened it, it was just twigs, it was leaves, it was steeds, it was like, and he's like, yeah, but you've got to pick it apart. I was like, no, I don't want this. I do not want this. And I was just so mad. Like, literally, I was so mad. And he was so disappointed. He was so disappointed because, like, yeah. And then, like, I was like, I want proper weed. And I was like, Shashamani. And when I said that to her, she was like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? And then they didn't take it back. They took it kind of badly, but then I was like, mate, like I've come from the Netherlands, so you can't give me this and say it's weed. Like it's literally twigs and seeds, literally, like literally, and a few flakes, which they was trying to say is weed. Like literally, it's the most driest weed. Imagine just like oregano, mate, the type of shit you'd sell in year 8, thinking you was hard. Like literally, fucking hell. Anyway. Anyway, so that was that. That was just another massive, real fucking drama. I mean, it was very scenic. It was so many sceneries. I went through the market, I went through the town, I went through the village. It was great right there, but it was just so disappointing because it was dark by the time I got back, and I just wanted to join, and then it was just like dead. So I was just like, what the fuck? Like literally, what the fuck? I was just pissed off. Like I was pissed off. Like I couldn't hide it. Like literally, there's no point trying to smoke it, saying, oh yeah, it's fine. No, it wasn't. It was shit. So anyway, fucking after this, yeah, I was like, okay, Shashamani. So she finally find someone like literally. Well, I say we found someone. Basically, we had problems with the Wi-Fi, so we called the internet guy, and then she was chatting to the internet guy, and then fucking yeah, she managed to get a contact out of him from one of his friends, and yeah, we found a dealer. Anyway, this dealer was like proper like dealer, like yeah, child soldiers would guard his fucking fortress. The type of guy that you could smoke up with, but in a second it could just go completely wrong. But no, yeah, I found a good dealer, like literally, and he'd come on his bike, he'll deliver. Like literally, it was 700 shillings. So I was like, what? Like literally, I'd never paid any more than like 200 or 300 shillings for weed. But I was like 700 shillings. But obviously, we're getting higher now. It's about £8, give or take. So I was like, okay, fine, that's a normal, standard, reasonable amount for a draw. I've asked for Shashamani. Hopefully, this is it. So obviously, I'm with this girl, and obviously she's talking to him and blah blah blah, making sure the price is right and like he's not scamming me, which is another thing that made me stay with her and that I liked about her because like yeah, she never scammed me. Like literally, well actually, but there was one time, but she never scammed me. Like literally, she never scammed me. Like if we was out in the public and was in the market, like literally, and people would see that she's got a foreign boyfriend, like boyfriend. So like they'll be like, oh blah blah blah, and they'll try and scam me and like hustle me. And she'd always like speak to them directly. And if I wanted to buy something from the market, it was jokes. She'd have to send her cousin in. I'd have to walk through, show him what I want, walk out, and then she'd send her cousin in to buy it. Like literally, because obviously they'd just rob me. Like they wouldn't charge me the same price they would charge a local. Like literally, they just wouldn't do it. And then the same with like if we was negotiating prices for like housing and accommodation when we we're renting places, like she would speak to them like, and obviously that's unusual. Normally that's the man's job over there to like stand up and speak and say, but obviously because they just overcharge me for everything, knowing I have the money. It's not that I had the money, it's just that our money converts a lot over there. So you can live a very comfortable lifestyle for a lot less than you would here. Like if you just have the same lifestyle you had over here in England, like it would cost you a lot, like thousands and thousands. Whereas over there it can cost you like maybe 1,000, like not even that. So yeah. Anyway, the guy comes with the weed, pick up the weed, and I'm happy with it. Like literally, it's a massive bundle. Like literally, it comes in a brown envelope, like a padded sort of envelope, and it's a massive bundle. It must have been at least a Q for 700 shillings. So imagine buying a Q for £7, basically. Literally, imagine buying a Q for £7. So yeah, but it's just nuts. Literally, it's nuts. Anyway, I smoked it. And this weed was the myth weed, because I'd heard about weed that could get you drunk, like literally the weed that can just get you drunk and just your head is just oh, like literally you're just happy and just buzzing and just really energetic and just like. And I was like, okay, that's a myth. And then I smoked this weed, and that was it. It was this, like, literally, this was it. And I was like, what? Like, literally, what? I was like, oh mate, it was so nice. Like, literally, I had like maybe 3 or 4 drags, and that was it on a spliff. Like literally, it would last me so long, and I just kept going back to him, going back to him, going back to him, and it was fine. Like that was my weed guy in Mombasa. Literally, like as soon as I come down to the coastline, it was so good. Like literally, it was so good. Yo, and also smoking on the beach as well. And then the police were a lot more chilled as well. They're a lot more used to seeing foreigners, so like people wouldn't really look at you as much, and like yeah, you could just be a bit more free and just have fun, like, literally. But yeah, it was not easy to pick up weed. Is the answer to that question. I went there in May, so May, June, July, August, September, 5 months. But yeah, it was a good crack. Like, literally, it was a good crack. No, this is a thing. Like you get used to it. Like this is a thing. I just balls it. Like, I had a friend called Felix, yeah, and like he took me on the railway. He took me to the railway museum, the Kenya Railway Museum, and that was absolutely insane because they've got like super old trains, like all the slam door trains, all the trains in the 40s, like when they had like the slavery and like how the British Empire, that was like the main network that they would use to transport all the slaves, and then eventually they got rid of that, and then they just used it to transport people, but it's like really high end people that would only ever travel on train, and like it's all like the history of trains basically, like it's nuts. Like anyway, so I had this friend called Felix, and he was like, "Oh, you're so crazy, you're so mad." Like literally, because I took it, I took, he took me to his area called Karangwari, which is in the ghetto. That's another like ghetto area, which is like proper, just like roughneck, like literally proper roughneck. And we got fucking rolled up on by police, literally, like twice that happened. And then there was one time when I wasn't there, and they got rolled up by police. And the story, bruv, oh wow, like literally, they got rolled up on hard. Anyway, basically, I went into the Karangwari. I got them a tattoo there because he was like, "This is the hospital you need to get off." Blah 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 blah. So I was like asking people like, "Can you tell me when the hospital is? Can you tell me when the hospital is?" Because bearing in mind, there's like no metropolitan system, no road signs. It's just like the coconut tree on the left, and there's a banana tree hanging over, and there's a vending stand which says Safaricom, and then there's another stand with sugarcane, and that's how you do directions. Like there's no like turn left on this street, turn right on that street. It's all by like what you see in the landscape. So anyway, I got off at this hospital, and then he took me in to see his friend's house, and I was like, "Where can we get some weed?" So that's the first thing I said. They're like, "You want to smoke weed?" I was like, "Yeah." And it's like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Okay, right, let's go." So at first he was like, "Wait, wait, wait. Let me call my friends." So he called like 6, 7 friends of his to come, and I was like, "Whoa, why have you called like all your friends over?" He's like, "Because we're going out. Like literally, we're going out, and the place we're going is very dangerous, and you as a foreigner, you cannot be there on your own. You need protection." "You are our guest and we have to protect you." Like literally, and I was just like laughing and joking, and I was like, "No, it's not a joke. Like it's not a joke." And these guys are tooled up to the teeth. Like literally, they're tooled up to the teeth. And I'm like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Okay, okay." And I was like, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. We can stuff off, we can get some cat. Yes, I used to chew cat as well. Like literally, it's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes people think it's a dirty habit, like especially if you're with a girl. Like the girl I was with, she hated it. Like literally, she hated me chewing it. Like literally, she was like, "Whoa, why are you chewing that?" Da, 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 da. Like literally, and she was like, "And you're a foreigner, you should know better," and all of this. But yeah, she just like, yeah. Some people don't care. Some girls are just like fine. Like if you get ghetto girl, but then if you get like a girl that's kind of posh, then yeah, she's gonna be like, no, don't. But anyway, we went out, got some cat, got some Yumbo gum, and picked up this weed. I literally picked up this weed, and it was the stick weed. Like literally, it was stick weed. And obviously, this is a time when I was living in Jamahori, so it was easy. It was all in Nairobi, so it's easy for me to get to him. This was before I moved. So obviously I was like smoking this weed and it was okay, like literally it was okay. It wasn't like the best, but it was okay. There was like a little buzz, but obviously you just pack more and you go out for more. And then we had a power cut, like literally we had a power cut. There was no electricity, no nothing. We was using candlelight and we was playing chess, mate. Like literally no phones, no batteries, no radios, no fuck all, mate. Like literally just complete dead, like literally. Just blazing the joint in the ghetto with just a complete blackout. Like literally, it was absolutely insane. So I was just like a bit anxious. Like literally, I was a bit anxious. I was like, "Oh, do you want to stay over the night? Do you want to stay over the night? Because it's getting a bit late, and obviously you've missed my tattoo." Blah blah blah. I was like, "No, I can catch one." I was like, "No, you can't." I was like, "Yeah, but I want to catch one." I was like, "No, it's too late for you to leave now. We've left it too late. Like it was like 10:30." I was like, "No, we've left it too late. We've left it too late." And I was like, "Yeah, but I want to try and see if I can get back." It's like, "No, just stay, just stay." And obviously, there's like, they're not forceful with it, but like when they're like being friendly and like hospitable, like it's like almost an insult to be like, "Nah, mate, it's fine. I'll catch you later." They're like, "I'm opening my house to you, so sleep. Like, come, like." And obviously, they knew I was uncomfortable, so they was just trying to do their best to like stay up with me and just like joke and ask questions and things like that. So anyway, like after that, like, I was just like, okay, fine. Like, like everyone's like clocking out, like either going home, like literally, because they live locally, or they was just going to sleep. And I was like, okay, fine. Like literally, the mosquitoes were like biting me. Like it was fucking hot. Like literally, I was sweating, and it was just a case of like, oh mate, like. I can't, like I can't, and I feel bad, like 'cause obviously it's like they have to live there, yeah, and it wasn't like a snobbish thing. It was just like I'm just like I don't know where I am. Like literally, I'm with Felix. So literally, he's my friend who I've known from the compound. But then it's the same time of like I don't know him that well to be chilling with his friends. Like yeah, I don't know. Like there's still like that sneaky aspect that it could be like how could we get money or how could we run a scam or how could we get one over on him? And it's not that they would do that. It's just like if there's opportunity, then they'll take it. Like do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things. So I was just getting a bit anxious being in this house that I just didn't know all these people and just smoking weed, and I was just like, nah, I like, nah, I gotta go, I gotta go. So it got to like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was like, David, literally, I was like, David, I've gotta go. Like literally, I've gotta go home. Like literally, I've gotta go home. Because bearing in mind, Felix had already left. Like literally, Felix had already left because like he had to go for work and college and blah blah blah. So he had left, and like I was like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I've gotta go, I've gotta go, I've gotta go. Like literally, it's like, no, you can't go now. It's like 2 in the morning. Like you're crazy. Like you're nuts. You're a crazy guy. And then fucking, it was like, oh, I was like, I can walk back. I know the way. It's literally a straight road. Like it's a straight road. Like I know the way, and it was a straight road in the end. Like I did know where he lived, but I just didn't know at first. And he was like, no, like you cannot attempt that. There's bandits, there's people out at night, they'll rob you, they'll do this, they'll do that, blah 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 blah. And that's a real thing, like does happen, like it does happen. Plus you've got people that just drive around like crazy at night and just like can run you over. Or you've got the police and the soldiers with maximum security at night, especially in the ghetto, which will just extort people for money, just knowing that it's nighttime. So they say, just give me what's in your pocket, otherwise we'll arrest you. And obviously no one's going to be about to help you, and they do it because they know that you can't call out on the community to be like, this policeman's being a cunt, like, because obviously in those areas they'll stand up against the police, but at night, like, you've got no one to back you up, so it's dangerous. Like it's dangerous. Like they'll just set you out for money basically. And that's actually a real thing. That's not just like conspiracy or oh the police are corrupt. Like they are actually corrupt. Like they will like prey on you at night and be like, give me your money. Like, and they'll say, give me your ID, and they'll take your passport and then burn it and rip it up and all of this and say that you never gave it to them, or they'll keep it and then say you've got to pay them for you to get your passport back. Like, it's fucked, mate. It's fucked. Like, it doesn't always happen, but it does happen like a lot. So you have to be careful just to be, oh, here you go, officer. Oh, here you go, soldier. Have the no, 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 no. Like, you open it up and let them show it as if you're showing a warrant card, and then you put it back in your pocket. Like, if they want to see it again, then they can, but never hand over your passport. It's just a dumb rookie move. Literally, you kind of deserve what you get if you give your passport to a police officer over there. But anyway, especially a British passport like that. Anyway, this guy David, bless his heart, mate. Like, literally, heart of gold. He was like, "Fine, I'm walking with you." Like, literally, I don't know why you want to do this. I don't know, because for him it's like nuts. Like, because after a certain time, everyone just locks off. There's no nightlife. There's no going out late. Like, people do party and things like that, but only specific times. Otherwise, in those areas after dark, you don't go out because it's just unsafe. Like, you just don't do it because you're asking for trouble. But he was like, okay, fine. Like, literally, it's fine. Let me just get my jacket, just get like get his tools. And then we started walking, and he's like, I can't believe you're making me do this. I can't believe it. I said, you don't have to do it. He's like, no, I have to. I have to. I cannot let you walk alone. If something was to happen to you, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. Felix will be so angry with me. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, after that, he walked me all the way, and then obviously as we was going along, there was like dogs, fucking wild dogs, security dogs on fucking perimeter fences, because we took the back route, which is obviously street lit, like, because it's a rich area, so the rich streets have like real good lighting. But obviously in the ghetto and poverty, bearing in mind we're experiencing a blackout, we walk literally maybe 5-10 minutes up the road and everyone has electricity, but it's literally just that one gridded square of compound, and all the roads are smooth, everything's fine, they've all got security, and you'll never know if you just live in that compound and you just got that compound life of, oh, just go somewhere where everything's always running and foreign investment and where rich people go and corporations go. You'll never know that literally down the road from you, people are just got no electricity and no water and no nothing. Like, anyway, so we walk down through the rich area and we walk back round, and then obviously he's from the ghetto, so they can tell, like the soldiers can tell, like, that he's from there. But obviously I'm foreign, so then I'm kind of making it okay for us to be walking late at night, because I can just fall back on the I'm foreign. I went for a late night walk. Sorry, officer. I'm staying in that fancy house over there, and they'd believe me, especially with the accent. When obviously when they see us on first appearance, they would like think we're both the same. But then they look at me and then they hear me and then they're like, okay, fine, you're from England. But literally, which is like, it's fucked, but that's just how it is. Only in those areas. But then again, it can work against you because, like I say, the police will extort you, especially if they know you're foreign, because they know you've got money in your pocket. Like, literally, even if it's like fiver, like, do you know what I mean? That's 600 shillings. Like, do you know what I mean? So for free. But generally, in certain areas, depending on where you are, they tend to just treat you well, and you can just flow by. But it's something that has to be in the back of your mind. Anyway, he walked me all the way back to my house, right to my door, opened my gate, literally, and I closed the gate behind me. And he made sure I got in safe and opened my door, walked me all the way to the front door. Because again, people can follow you home and try and rob your house and all of this. And then he waited for a matatu early morning, and that whole walk took us about an hour and a half. So it was kind of getting dusk, starting to get hot. We was both sweating, and he just waited for a matatu in the end. I paid for his matatu home, obviously. And then yeah, that was that. But yeah, what a diamond guy. But then the story is, the next time I saw Felix, it was like, what? That's nuts. Like, I heard what you did to him. Why would you make him walk? You're crazy. Why would you walk at night? Don't walk at night. Blah 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 blah. And then I told him about getting lost as well, and he was like, you're nuts. Why would you go out and da 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 da? It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, I'm not invincible, but sometimes it's just like, do you know what I mean? You just got to put yourself in these situations, because we're all human beings at the end of the day, and what's the worst they're gonna do? Like, do you know what I mean? After a while, there's only so many guns you can wave in my face. You just kind of get used to it. You never get cocky. It's always in the back of your mind, because obviously they can easily kill you, and that's it. Like, there's no one to be like, oh, police inquiry and protest. And like, the police kill people all the time en masse. Like, literally, like, massacres happen, genocides happen, like, literally all the time. Like, literally, like, it's just like masses of people just getting shot, like, just pow, 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 pow. Protesters, for example. Like, literally, there's a protest while I was over there in Kibera, mate. Pastor Michael's house, put it this way, Pastor Michael's house had so many bullet holes in the fucking walls. You can just fucking see outside. like people passing by. Like literally, there was just fucking mass uprising. Like literally after the elections, there was just a mass uprising, which wasn't really an election. It was more of a coup d'état, which again is politics, which we won't get into. But yeah, so yeah, there was an uprising, and then yeah, obviously everyone just went mental. Like, literally, everyone went mental. Literally, I woke up to tear gas pouring through the windows. Literally, because I was living in like a guest house, but it wasn't nothing fancy, so the windows didn't have good ceiling on them. Plus, I'd sleep with the windows open and have like a you'd have like a metal bar grid over your windows, and then you just have mesh to keep the mosquitoes out. But otherwise, yeah, you'd sleep with the window open. Like it wouldn't be like a big deal. Like not for me anyway. But yeah, that was pretty nuts. I literally, that was pretty nuts. But then just being put into those situations. But then again, this is where me going into these situations and mixing with the community. Now, there was like 5 or 6 boys. Basically, there was a mass eviction. When I was working in Kibera, I went around to see like, well, I only went to like 3 districts. There's loads of, I don't know, 20 plus districts in Kibera, but like there's like 8 main districts, I think. But I only went to like 3 or 4. And obviously, when I went round, there was like a massive eviction. Now, 2 weeks prior to that, I'd seen them, and basically, I'd met all of these people. I'd done something. Part of the charity work was something called Walk My Path, which is basically where you spend 4 days with a family. You basically live with them, you go out with them, like you go shopping, like wherever they go to the market, buy clothes, buy food. You might take the kids to school. You might be able to sit in the classroom and see like what an African class is like. Like you just like live the whole family life basically. And you just get to see how they live. Like you sleep there, like you eat the food that they eat, like you wash where they wash. So you fully like just get to live there. Like you don't have to go backwards and forwards. And that was good, like literally. And even though it's only 4 days, like it's a massive like experience and a culture shock to see how people live and how they thrive as well. Because you think of a slum and everyone's dying and this and this and this, and yeah, there are people that have got disease and things like that. But at the same time, people are thriving. They're good craftsmen, good workmen. They have to work hard. They have to thrive hard. Like every day is like it's not a struggle, but you have to live through it. Like you actually are living. Like literally, you have to just everything's. You have to grow your own crops. Like do you know what I mean? You kill your own animals, you breed your own animals, like you eat fresh food, like do you know what I mean? Most people is mainly a carbohydrate based diet, so most people eat it's called ugali. Most people eat ugali, literally with beans and like a tomatoey sauce. That's mainly the staple food in Kenya is ugali. They don't really eat like pizza and chips and Western food. It's all like ugali and kale and fucking spinach and rice and yeah, like just healthy shit basically. So that everyone's quite healthy as well. So like again, you think of people like oh they haven't got this and that. All the medicines are natural because they can't afford to go to modern day medicines and hospitals anyway. That's considered like a rich people's thing for like kids of foreigners or politicians or corporations or people that own oil mines and their kids like live in Africa and all of that. Like literally, it's for those sort of people, those sort of types of people that are living there. Basically, like people that are from Western countries that go over there. That's what hospitals are for. They're not for the locals. Like, don't get me wrong, locals do have public hospitals, but there's like 1 or 2 public hospitals in Nairobi, and that's in the whole city, like literally. And it's just like, okay, well, there. Okay, put it this way: you spend 1 day in A&E, and like Felix took me to A&E. You spend 1 day in A&E, and you're just yeah. You really would be clapping for the NHS, like literally. You would not clap in vain, put it that way. Anyway, so where was I? I completely lost my trailer of thought. I know what I want to tell you about. I'm going to go on to what I want to tell you about, and then maybe it will come back to me what I was saying. But yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. Like literally. Yeah, so sorry, yeah, my walk my path. So yeah, I was in Kabira and there was a massive eviction. Seeing all of this and getting myself into crazy situation. Oh yes, sorry, I know what I'm saying. Sorry. So with experience all of this and seeing all of this, basically, I don't know if you've ever seen online or on YouTube or anything where people have markets by the train track. There's one in Thailand or India, and like it was exactly the same as that. The train track ran through, Kibera, which is a slum. It ran through Kibera, and basically it fucking yeah. They didn't even move. Like they didn't move. Like where it's normally like the tracks come, people move. People are on the tracks, yeah, and then everyone moves all their stuff off the tracks. Whereas they didn't do that. They just lived permanently by the side of the track and just sold stuff and had the market stalls. And that's like, yeah. The point is they had everything by the sides of the tracks, yeah, and then the SGR. Yeah, SGR is the rail service, Chinese made, by the way. That's a little side note. But again, that's politics, so we won't go into that. But yeah, the SGR come and said, right, there's an eviction notice on the land. You need to be like 50 meters or wherever it is away from the railway. And this actual land is owned by SGR anyway, so technically you shouldn't even be on here. But bearing in mind it is a slum, so where else are they going to go? People that live there don't necessarily want to always live there, and they're trying to get out of there, but they live there through necessity. So it's like they just make it work, and they, like I say, they thrive. And I make it sound positive, and it is, because like from my perspective, like it's something to be admired, because like you say, it's something to think about how good we have it and how easy we have it. And sometimes, like I said to you before when I first started the stream, like, you know, I can moan and I can complain and feel stressed and this, but when I actually think about the experiences that I've experienced and things that I've seen and how people are living and the fact they're still living like that today, and for me it's just a story, but for them it's their life. So it's a case of, you know, they got evicted like literally 2 weeks later. That's what all this tear gas and all of this and the shootings, there was because they got evicted. And those same people that I'd met by the side of the railways were evicted. They was evicted at 5 o'clock in the morning. The government came with, again, I say government because it was the army that led the operation, not the police. And it was a case of they came down with bulldozers and bulldozed everyone's houses, all the markets, all the stalls, everything, with people inside, everything. Like literally, they fucked it all up. Like literally, people died over that eviction. Like literally, like over 20 people. Like literally, and that's not an exaggeration. Like literally, it was an absolute fucking disaster. And what's the most trippiest thing is watching Kenyan news, seeing a mass eviction in Kibera and living directly behind Kibera and seeing Kibera. Basically, you see the start of the rubbish basically from my window, and then it goes down into like a valley. But yeah, it was nuts. Like, literally, it was nuts. And obviously, Festus, well, when we went out, when we first woke up, because obviously we was literally living right behind, there's pumping tear gas everywhere. We was woke up to being choked out by tear gas. We went outside to the front of the compound, but obviously we got a massive fuck off high wall, so you can't actually see over the wall. And obviously Festus opened the gate, bearing in mind there's soldiers running up and down, police running up and down with all guns. They're firing shots up into the air, they're firing tear gas in the air, they're firing shots at people. Literally, people are running every which direction. I'm like, Festus, do not fucking go out there. He fucking stupidly opens the fucking gate, and he takes no more than 2 steps out of our front gate, and bow, he gets hit with a fucking canister of tear gas. He literally comes running back into the house, like fucking choking. I was like, well, that's obvious. Like, literally, we're already getting gassed out just by sitting in the house, let alone actually going out and purposely, intentionally getting hit by one. But again, like when the locals see this sort of stuff happening, they will all come and they will all uprise and they will say no, like literally, because again, you can argue that, yeah, okay, it's the train's land, like they do own the land, but it's all again foreign investors. So I say it's owned by the Chinese. It's all foreign investors that come and buy the land. And the law in Kenya and Africa in general says that if you own land, then that's it, it's your land. There's no government that can say, like, for example, in England, if you own land, you still have to pay tax, you still have to pay the government money. The government can still freeze your assets and repossess your house, but over there they don't have those laws. If you own something, then you own it, and that's fine if you're you and me, because you can save up your money, you can earn a lot of money, but then over there it would translate to even more, even double, quadruple that amount of money, and you could live a good life. But if you're a corporation or you're a country like the United States of America or China or England, do you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to evict that country if they've bought like a whole mountain, or if they've bought a whole like field, or fucking, do you know what I mean, 1,000 acres or whatever, like 100 miles of land? Like literally, how are you gonna try and evict that? Like, do you know what I mean? If you invite people into your country and they say, okay, let us build a base here and we can give you aid, and like, do you know what I mean, we can feed your people, and then they said that those same soldiers in that same country turns on you, how are you supposed to evict that country from your land? Like literally, how are you supposed to do that? And this is why you have all these different break-off militia groups. And even in Kenya, they Al-Shabaab is very popular, and yeah, that's a terrorist group. Well, it's labeled a terrorist group, but at the end of the day, like, these are all break off groups, and I'm not fucking standing up for anything or anyone, and I don't want to get political because people can get funny about it, but this is what I've seen. And like, there's all these different break off groups, and this is why, because it's like when you have all these companies that literally just screw your country over, and you're sitting on gold mines, like literally you're sitting on gold mines and you're sitting on minerals that's worth billions, like literally, which basically funds everything, even the device I'm talking to you on now, and you get nothing for it. You're still living in poverty. Like, you have to ask questions. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's poverty is a crime, mate. And there's so many people that don't realize that. Like, literally, poverty is actually a crime. It's been ruled a crime by the United Nations. Like, literally. So it's just a case of when people are living like that, and it's all done through legality of business deals and transactions, and the laws are faulty and they are set to be faulty so that people can never prosper and people can never uprise and actually learn from their land and actually learn how to farm their own land and actually make money off that, rather than just someone buying the land and saying, right, this belongs to us and you can work for us to work on your own land and get your own. Do you know what I mean? It's bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. So anyway, seeing this take place was completely nuts. Like, literally, it's absolutely nuts. So I was living there. This is before I moved to Mombasa. I was still in Jamahuri. So I was staying at this guest house, and one night I was walking back from the mall. Again, the mall. Like, literally, I was walking back from the mall. I had to convert some money up, and like, I'd been out. I got some sugar cane. You know, I was chewing on a sugar cane. I was smoking a cigarette. Like, literally, I was smoking a cigarette. And there was these kids that was just walking up and down the street, and they'd overturned a fucking. Oh no, sorry. Let me fucking not jump ahead. There was these kids that walking up and down the street, but bearing in mind the eviction had just taken place, so this had been going on for quite a while, where kids had just been displaced, like literally there's nowhere to go, like literally, and some of them don't even have parents anyway, so they've got nowhere to go, and obviously the army have just bulldozed everything they had anyway, like, do you know what I mean? So there's no real reason for them to actually do anything like worth doing. There's no opportunities or jobs. Like, half of them don't even know any education, or do you know what I mean? Any English they do get is from like TV and things like that, which is why, like, I don't know, America is so looked up to in that sort of sense, because that's how people learn English around the world. Like, no matter where you go, like, someone somewhere is in some Hollywood film, like, do you know what I mean? Even if it's just a small amount of English that they know. So I'd seen these kids, and obviously I felt bad for them. And like I said to you before, like, you've got to be careful when you're helping these kids, because obviously sometimes it can be a trap. But no matter what, it's just like kids, like, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, regardless, even if it is a scam, like, do you know what I mean? They're still a child that's being used to scam people, and there's not much of a life for a child, even if they think they're getting money out of you. Do you know what I mean? So I would see these kids quite often. Say, "Oh, hey, uncle, how are you? Da 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 da. This," and they'd be fascinated that I'm from England and asking me about football and all of this. And then one day, I was walking back, and I was just on a little walk, and I was making a little video. I was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's my camera." I was like looking at the camera, like, "Oh wow, that's crazy!" And I'd shown them videos of when I was walking around the Kibera and when I was on the train and this, and they thought it was crazy. I was like, "This is your country, like, this is what it looks like," because they had never been out of Kibera. So to see that on a video was nuts for them. Like, they thought it was so sick, and it was like, it made me feel gassed, because it made me feel gassed, but then it made me feel kind of like dirty, because at the same time it's like, once again, the Western are coming over, giving all these kids technology, and do you know what I mean? It's just poisoning them. But at the same time, what I was showing them was just, this is what you can explore. This is what you have. Like, this is your country. Like, this is what you have to be proud of. So I was there chatting this, and then one day I was walking, and then I said to them, "Do you want some food? Like, what do you want? Do you want to get some soda? Because they call it soda. They don't call it like fizzy drink." So, "Do you want some soda?" I was like, "Yeah, we get some soda." And soda is like 30 shillings. It's not expensive. It's just like 40p a bottle. So I got them all soda, and then they wanted. So I said, "What food do you want?" And they said, "We want some mendazi." Mendazi is like a donut, but it's just basically like a square donut, basically like a yum yum, pretty much, like without so much sugar. It's sweet, but it's not that overly sweet. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So that's what they had. They had that and the Mendazi. So they got a massive bag of Mendazi, and they just shared it out between them. And they were so grateful. They was like literally eating away. They were so happy. They were so gassed, literally. So thank you, Uncle. Like, it's fine, no worries. They went off, and I went home. Now, again, I was walking around. This is where I was. This is where the story becomes where it's like, again, I'm always putting myself in these mad situations, because after that eviction, I went out and there was mass like one day there was just mass violence and unrest. Like everyone was just pissed off. Like literally everyone was just pissed off. There was tires burning. There was fucking like literally the air was black with smoke. Like literally it was like imagine bonfire night times like 50. It was basically the purge. Like literally it was just the purge. Like literally everything was everywhere. Things were on fire. Like there was just rubbish burning everywhere, tires burning everywhere. There was a security company called SGA, actually a Dutch company, and basically they do a lot of the private security in Africa in general, really. But yeah, they're everywhere in Kenya, and an SGA pickup truck, and they're bright orange. So one of these bright orange pickup trucks has been flipped over. The guards have been like beaten to shit. Basically, there's just fucking just standing around trying to fucking control the situation, but couldn't. Like I guess they was waiting for backup. But yeah, there's just pretty much outruled. There was fucking throwing sticks at them, rocks at them, everything. They was just fucking them up basically. But yeah, they'd pushed over their truck, they'd set it on fire. Now I was walking past all of this, and fucking like there was some boys. There was like a group of boys that were standing over by one of the vending like the vending stands. And I was just walking like fucking look forward, look forward, look forward, because I could see straight away that was like clocking me. And obviously, I was getting a bit shook. Like, I was getting a bit shook. I can't lie. I was getting a bit shook. And I was like, okay, how's this going to play out? How's this going to play out? How's this going to play out? So it's like, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Because as soon as they hear your voice, as soon as they hear your voice, like, that's where it's going to be fucked. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to be able to get out of this one. So they started walking ahead of me, like down across my path, and I could see where I needed to go. And I still had like quite a way to go to get back to my house. I knew where I needed to go, but I didn't, there was no shortcut. So they was crossing over my path, and then they stopped on the path. And I just stopped like in front of them, and I was like, I just like looked at them, and I was like, who are you? Like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going home. I was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from England. I was like, and you live in Kenya? I was like, well, yeah, for now, because I had no plans like to go anywhere else. I was just staying there as long as I can. So I was like, yeah, I live here. And I was like, where do you live? I was like, Jamahuri, just down the road. Like literally, I live just past the chemist, and on the right, and then just round, or like in the entrance to Gabira. I explained exactly where I lived, all the palm trees, everything is like. And what are you doing here? I was like, I'm just here, just visiting, like just seeing what's like the local area. Like, yeah, I've been doing work beforehand. Like I was properly just explaining my case to these boys. I just didn't even know. Like literally, there's maybe like 12 people that I just like at least, and they're all grown like boys, like men, like 15, 16, 17, 20, 30, like all different ages, like just staring me out like, and what are you doing here? Like, why are you here? Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like, what the fuck? And then one of them grabbed me, and I was like, no, fuck that. Like, literally, I did pull away, but obviously, you don't want to start swinging because they'll just fuck you up. And bearing in mind, you've got all, they just fucked up like security guards, yeah. They just fucking pushed over their truck. Do you know what I mean? They fucking, some of them do have guns, but these ones clearly weren't armed. Otherwise, they wouldn't be standing if they were. Literally, these boys wouldn't be standing. But yeah, they weren't armed. So yeah, like literally, I couldn't do nothing. And now this is fucking. I look down the street and I'm just literally trying to like just keep walking and then trying to pull me away. And who do I see but these six boys that 2 days before I'd bought the Mendazian soda for. And just as these boys are pulling me, they shout, Uncle, Uncle, Uncle. Like literally, and they look round. And I say, "Oh hi, how are you? You alright? Is everything okay?" Duh, duh. Completely ignored all these geezers that are standing in front of me. It's, "Oh, how are you? Is everything okay? Did you enjoy it?" To say, then they say, "Oh, you know this guy?" And they start speaking in Swahili. I say, "Yeah, we know him. He comes on the show." And then he says, "Oh, okay." And the look on their faces that went from sheer like fucking hatred and fucking intruder to like, oh, family, brother. But then at the same time, they wasn't really believing it. They wasn't really sure. And then on the corner, because they'd stopped me just before the corner, and I knew I had to go around the bend. And I said to them, look, you can even ask the guy here at the kiosk. He will remember me coming and asking if it's okay for them to come in and take what they want, and I will pay for it. So they said, okay, come. We'll see. We'll see. And if you are lying, we'll see. And I was like, I'm not lying, so it's fine. So we walked all the way down to the kiosk. The guy, fortunately, he was there. He remembered me. He vouched for me, and that was it. They didn't say sorry. They didn't do nothing, and I didn't say nothing back. I just walked off. But they just, it was just the fact of like that's a simple example of like why you mix with the locals. And like, yeah, you can be put in these situations, and yeah, you're not invincible, but sometimes like it does work out and pay off just to like not be ignorant and broaden your horizon and just stop and talk to people. Because those boys, like literally those children, like literally 10, 12-year-old boys, pretty much just saved me from an ass kicking and getting robbed, like literally. Because otherwise, even worse, literally, because anything could have happened. Because like I said, there was complete uprest, so there was no police coming back to that area. Like literally, they'd done the eviction and then they left. Like literally, that's how it works. And then they leave the people to fight amongst each other. Like, it's pretty sad, really. No, yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts, mate. Like literally, because it's just yeah, it's not really it's not really a choice. Like it's not really a choice, you know. So it's just like yeah. Say she sleep well. Just gonna roll another quickly. I think. Get a little snack going. Instead of adverts, you just get a black screen. Right, let us continue. What's my battery looking like? Yeah, not too bad so far. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and do a live stream because well, I couldn't be bothered to make a video basically. Excuse me, so I thought I'd just hang out on live instead. feel a bit mean. Telling the story about the girl I met. Well, a girl I met. And like, when I tell stories, I don't really go into detail. But like, the detail of this one is I thought that the reason why I thought she wasn't down wasn't because of the whole cooking and cleaning and washing up and washing my clothes and hanging out to dry and making my food. Like, it was the fact of she would always be busy and just be like, oh, I'm not going to make time for you, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I'd even give her money to come over and see me, and she'll still be like, oh, I've got to find time, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's just so much effort. But yet she was saying all of this, blah, blah, blah. And like, she would do things that's like, oh, why would you do that if you wasn't? So then maybe I just thought she was just different. Like, she just wasn't really like, you know. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, that makes me think, like, I don't know, I'm a bit mean, is because I invited her down to Mombasa, literally, but I had already moved there with another girl, so I don't know what I was thinking, and then she ended up staying in the same house with my girl. Mate, I was imagine this, yeah, picture this, I'm on a beach, yeah, I'm on a beach, Pirates Beach to be specific, in Mombasa, white sandy beach, coconut trees, breeze. She's just got off a 16-hour coach ride, risked her life, literally risked her life, come to Mombasa, where she's never been before, in hot, fucking sweaty coach, tired, to come here and find out that there's another girl. Bearing in mind, we're sitting on the beach talking everything over, and I said, oh, let's go to the beach. And she's like, well, why don't we just go back to yours? So obviously she knew something was off the whole time. And I was just fucking sweating him. I didn't know what to do because I didn't know like what to do, like literally, because like, yeah, I thought she was down, but then like this other girl just came over and just, no, she'd never top, no girl will ever top the standards, literally, because of her, like, I just have high standards for women. Simple as that, literally. And don't get me wrong, she wasn't perfect. It's not like it's just the way she carried herself. Just like she knew how to act. You know what I mean? And if she was gonna fucking do something, she'd do it well. But then she knew not to do it in the first place. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, yeah, she will not top. No one will top her. Basically, no one will be better than her. I've never met anyone yet that is so far. But the point is, that girl, she come all the way down to see me. Then we're sitting on the beach talking things through, blah 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 blah. And then out of nowhere, I'm smoking a cigarette, and out of nowhere, my girl just walks up the beach and says, "Oh, so this is what you're doing? This is what you're doing, is it? Hi." Oh, mate, literally. Because I told her I was at the beach, right? I told her I was at the beach, so she got a matatu, or a matatu or motorbike, either one. She got a matatu or motorbike, and come all the way to the beach. It's a good 20 minutes from where we was living, and all that way, and like walked the beach, walked all the way around the beach, like and it's dark as well. So it's like, do you know what I mean? There's only a few places we could be really, but she was on a mission. She was a mad one. Anyway, we ended up going to the shisha bar, having shisha, and then, well, actually, she went over to the shisha bar, and then this other girl stayed on the beach. Other girl stayed on the beach, yeah. And then, yeah, I was just going between the two. I literally, oh mate, it's fucking, oh, it's a nightmare. Like, it didn't feel real. I didn't feel real. And then fucking, we ended up going back together, all of us, and just fucking staying under the same roof. And then I thought, okay, fine. How have I managed to pull this off? How have I managed to pull this off? Because I said to her, like, she's coming expecting to visit me, and like, blah, blah. And at the same time, like, I was seeing her before I seen you, and this. She was like, oh, blah, blah. So she was like, okay, fine. I'm going to open my doors, literally, my doors, literally. The queen of the household, literally. This is what I mean about how she carries herself. Okay, fine. She can stay. I'm going to open my doors. But she's going to sleep on the sofa, and I'm not going to speak to her, and you're not going to speak to her, and that's it. But I'm not going to see her out. I hope you're happy. And then she just carried on chatting to her friend that she should buy in Swahili, so I couldn't understand her. Like, literally, on purpose. Like, literally, oh, man, bitch. Anyway, fucking, I was like, okay, fine. So I went back, so I said to her, okay, fine, you can come and stay. Like, it's fine. Oh, mate, it's just fucking, oh, mate. Oh, Jesus. So the next morning, there's a video. I went live, actually. I went live when this was happening. So there is a video of it. But the next morning, the next day, it all kicked off. Like, it all kicked off. Because basically, she went out to get me weed, some shashamani, like, literally. And the dealer, literally, had a thing for her, but she went with her friend, and her friend would then be like, ugh, well, I don't know, her friend Immaculate. Ugh, oh my God. Anyway, fucking hell. Basically, she went off to get weed, and we go went into the shower to take a shower, and my girl came back, and it all kicked off. Bottom line is, she tried to douse her in well, she did douse her in petrol, and then tried to set her on fire. But she didn't actually set her on fire because she didn't have any matches. But she doused her in petrol. And the reason why there was petrol is because we had a paraffin stove at the time. Because I was broke. Yeah, your mum was broke. So no surprise there. But yeah, I had a paraffin stove. So yeah, I couldn't afford to fucking refill gas ball. It was just too expensive. And anywhere I'd go, they would always fucking overcharge me, and I couldn't fucking work it out. And just, yeah, I just was like, fuck it, I'll just cook on paraffin. And like, it was a common thing to do, but it's just considered as like a poor thing. But it was a novelty for me because I hadn't really done it before. And it's basically like camping in your house, but it makes your whole house stink of petrol. So it's just like, fucking hell, like literally, you get high. Like literally, you have to just stand out bit, like, so you have to stand out, and then you put it outside as well. You can't really sleep with it. Plus, a lot of the places I stayed in was open plan, so it's like, yeah. Anyway, she doused her in paraffin and then pushed her out into the street. Well, I say into the street, out into the fucking hallway on the balcony bit. And then all the neighbours obviously came out. She's screaming, oh, she's a home wrecker. She's trying to steal my man, blah, 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 blah. And obviously I just felt bad. And then she had a knife in her hand and she was swinging that around the knife. And then she was fucking chucking the clothes over the balcony. Her friend was also chiming in and squawking and blah, blah, blah. And it was all speaking Swahili. And there's just like banshees, basically. This girl, she was just fucking crying her eyes out. I felt so bad for her because, bear in mind, she just come down to see me. Like, she just wanted a nice quiet time, and obviously I did think she was scamming me. So at first I thought she deserved it, but then the where it led to, it just got so out of control. It's just like, I just can't be dealing with this. And then fucking, oh mate. So anyway, she fucking left, and then I fucking saw her like briefly, and then yeah, that was it. And then my phone SIM card got flushed and all of this, and then I couldn't contact her. And then I knew she had a dad in Mombasa, so I think she tried to contact her dad, but I don't know if she ever fucking got hold of him. And then I think she just went back home. And then when I got back to the Netherlands, I did contact her, quite a few times, but then she was still in the same position, and again she was just being her own little snaky ways, so I just didn't like that about her anyway. So but yeah, that's I just that situation. I just because I didn't know what I know now, so I just thought I was a bit mean under the information I was given. And then they already had a fight at the mall, so that should have been a red flag not to invite her down. So sorry, it's a bit of a soap opera in it. So I don't go into detail because it's all very childish, isn't it? It's very childish. Anyway, I think I'm gonna take a lie down, roll another zoot, get some more food. 'Cause I'm quite hungry. Smoked quite a lot of weed tonight, to be fair, because I didn't smoke all day, so I've just been chuffing it down. Like, I'm gonna smoke again and again and again. I'll probably be up till like 4 or 5. Anyway, yeah, safe for tuning in, and yeah, I'll probably go live again at some point, or I may make a video. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like making promises, but yeah. Stay blessed, stay lean, and peace.